the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Traffic is flowing smoothly right now, but weather conditions may slow you down on the roads tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. We start tonight with WRTV Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory tracking rain and more snow.
A variety of conditions during the day tomorrow. I think it starts dry, and then you'll see quickly early afternoon our rain chance increase. If there's any mix at that point, it will quickly go over to rain. I'll take you through the timeline of what's critical here. I'm showing you the temperature and the precipitation. Notice 1 o'clock in the afternoon, temperatures at 40 degrees in spots thanks to a strong south wind. You see a little wintry mix in the pink and some blues north of that, which will be light snow in the late afternoon. There's the evening hours. Lafayette to Kokomo, Muncie North, maybe a little snow, but temperatures still above freezing. That quickly moves out to the east as we get to 11 o'clock. Any accumulating snow would be light and to the north. It looks like could be generally an inch. An isolated spot, Logansport North, could have a little more than that. We've still got to talk about what happens Saturday night and then Sunday.
Kevin, thank you. Indiana health officials have lowered the risk level for COVID spread in more counties around the state. The State Department of Health weekly tracking map updated today. It shows 4 rural counties in the highest risk red category. That is down from 73 counties in that category 3 weeks ago. But Governor Holcomb says it's important for Hoosiers to stay vigilant by continuing to wear masks, social distance, and getting the vaccine when it's available to you and you're eligible. The state plans to run a Super Bowl commercial to encourage COVID vaccinations. It will feature the family of Paul Logan. The former North Central High School athletic director died from the virus last April. His widow spoke at today's state news briefing on the pandemic.
That was what Paul was about. He was always put others first, always before himself, whether it was the student athletes or the parents or the community. He was always very much concerned on what others thought and what others needed to do. And this is what Paul would want to get out to the community of how important something like this is.
As early as next Thursday, eligible Hoosiers with an appointment can get their COVID vaccine at any Kroger pharmacy in the state. Right now in Indiana, anyone age 65 and older, long-term care residents, first responders, and healthcare workers are eligible. You can make an appointment by going to ourshot.in.gov or by calling 211.
At today's briefing, the State Department of Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box also announced new guidelines for schools. These changes start Monday.
We will no longer require quarantine or contact tracing if the students and teachers remain at least 3 feet apart and are wearing a mask at all times in just the classroom. I want to emphasize that this is for the classroom setting only. It does not apply to lunch, athletics, band, orchestra, choir, or any other school setting where students may gather, nor does it apply to classrooms in which students have been allowed to remove their masks.
In situations that do require quarantining, the State Department of Health is still recommending 14 days as the safest option, but 10 or 7 days will be allowed under certain conditions. This guidance will be shared with school districts this week.
New at 11, a program hopes to provide a boost to local entrepreneurs and chefs who have struggled to keep up with chain restaurants during the pandemic. With delivery remaining popular for the foreseeable future, WRTV's Cameron Riddle shows you how a group is getting ready to help Hoosiers launch so-called ghost kitchens.
While corporate-owned restaurants are held to the same standards as small family-owned restaurants, the mom-and-pop spots have been at a disadvantage as more people rely on apps and delivery services for dinner.
They did not. They were not ready for things like that. And so you saw people generally disappear, close back. You saw other people get an influx of sales and not know what to do, how to handle it.
After witnessing that disadvantage, local nonprofit group Be Nimble is launching an accelerated program called the Melon Kitchen to teach small restaurant owners how to run a delivery-only business from what is called a ghost kitchen. Program Director Jasmine Long describes the concept as a restaurant where the customer never steps foot inside.
Places who did not have ghost kitchens are building ghost kitchens. Something is happening where people people want the food and they want it now. To be able to order McDonald's to your front door without going through the drive-thru. It's happening. The transition is already here. We're not going back now that people are used to getting their food just like that.
The program will set up shop at 16 Tech on Indiana Avenue, allowing chefs and business owners to launch their delivery service under the guidance of professionals that know how to run a restaurant and have the experience with the technology required to run a delivery service. Think Uber Eats or DoorDash. The kitchen's location in a historically black neighborhood and the name Melon Kitchen reflects the communities Be Nimble is trying to help.
Melon, melanin, melon, watermelon, it's us. It's, all the vibrant things that make us us.
Long says the program is open to any and everybody, but the heart of the mission is to help black and brown business owners catch up and compete with the big chains and corporations.
That is because we are naturally and historically underrepresented in things like this. When you are combining tech plus food, that is something that we have never been privy to doing.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
Melon Kitchen participants will also receive financial backing from money raised by the annual Party Gras Ball. The program is accepting applications right now. You can learn more at our website at WRTV.com.
Students eager to join the fight against COVID-19 are training to save lives here in Indianapolis. Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to career training opportunities in high-demand fields. That includes nursing. Bridget McHugh and Elizabeth Lee are in Chamberlain University's fast-track nursing program to earn their bachelor degrees in a little less than 3 years. The nursing industry needs students like them to get their degrees and start working. Registered nurses are listed in the highest demand category by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development.
I think the thing that drives my passion most is getting to be able to be hands-on with people and help them. I think everybody finds a natural high to helping people and that feedback from them, knowing that you're making their lives better.
I think I'm just really thankful and excited to go into this field and be able to work with amazing healthcare workers during this difficult time.
Chamberlain University is currently enrolling nursing students to start classes on May 3rd. The Indianapolis campus is located near Keystone at the Crossing. For more info, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Some landlords and property owners say they're having trouble making ends meet as more Hoosiers rely on the federal eviction moratorium to keep a roof over their heads. The moratorium and rental assistance programs are designed to help renters who have lost income because of the pandemic. But two men we spoke with who own rental properties say the financial burden is now on landlords. In one case, Grant Anderson says a tenant who is behind on rent was denied assistance because his income has not changed, but he's still protected by the eviction moratorium.
The government tells us we can't evict this person, but then they denied them assistance. And that doesn't seem right.
These are your local neighbors that are just trying to provide a service to benefit and enhance their community.
Indianapolis has received another $29 million in federal funding for rent relief. The city says it's working to update its assistance portal to comply with federal rules for how the money is distributed.
Dozens of Hoosiers are making their voices heard in support of their home country. Members of Indiana's Burmese community gathered on Monument Circle today to protest the coup in Myanmar. The military retook control of the country, arrested elected leaders, and declared a state of emergency. Many Burmese men and women came to the U.S. to escape social unrest and mass killings of ethnic minorities that took place under Myanmar's military dictatorship. Many still have friends and family in the country.
We are going to encourage the people in Burma that we are with them, and also they are not alone, and we want to encourage all the people in Burma to against the military regime.
Yesterday, a leader with the Burmese American Community Institute told WRTV he hopes international efforts will be made to help end the coup.
Now to Washington, where House Democrats are planning to vote to remove a Congresswoman from congressional committees. Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is under scrutiny within her own party for violent and false statements that she's made over the years. ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports that's just one issue creating tension among Republican lawmakers.
She's known as the QAnon Congresswoman.
It's a crime punishable by death, is what treason is. Nancy Pelosi is guilty of treason.
And now, in wake of the January 6th deadly Capitol riot and several conspiracies and falsehoods pushed by Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, the freshman Congresswoman is facing an onslaught of criticism from her Democratic colleagues.
If somebody advocates putting a bullet in the head of a member of Congress, and if that is going to be the new determination as to what it takes to throw people off of committees, I'm fine with that.
Today, after Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy decided against removing Greene from her 2 committee assignments, Democrats plan to do it themselves tomorrow. Democratic House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer telling ABC News, "It is clear there is no alternative." Even Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell weighing in with a blistering rebuke of Greene without naming her, saying loony lies and conspiracy theories are cancer for the Republican Party and our country. Greene has a history of spewing outrageous claims, once questioning whether the mass shooting that left scores dead in Las Vegas was set up by liberals to rally support for gun control. Greene herself taking nothing back, tweeting, "I won't back down, I'll never apologize." And more tension in the GOP. Third-ranking House Leader Liz Cheney is feeling pressure from Trump-supporting members who want to punish her and 9 other Republicans for voting to impeach the former president. Florida's Matt Gaetz even traveling to Cheney's home state of Wyoming to rally against her.
Defeat Liz Cheney in this upcoming election, and Wyoming will bring Washington to its knees.
Kevin McCarthy now defending Cheney after initially saying she had a lot to answer for with her impeachment vote.
Look, I support her, but I also have concerns.
And tonight, most House Republicans backing Cheney, voting 145 to 61 in a secret ballot to keep her in her leadership post. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Gives me a sense of security.
We've taken pretty regular price increases.
The debate over raising the federal minimum wage will soon go before Congress. Coming up, how a hike could impact workers and businesses.
And next, a local Black-owned Central Indiana business is truly a family affair. This Black History Month, WRTV is highlighting Black-owned businesses that are surviving and thriving during the pandemic. 3 generations of women are behind a new beauty supply store in Lawrence. Brittany Buford and her mother researched how and where to open Max Beauty Supply and named it after Brittany's grandmother, Maxine. A setback threatened to derail their work when Brittany's mother suffered a heart attack the same day they signed the lease for their location on Pendleton Pike. But family and friends stepped up to make sure their dream stayed on track.
It was a hard time trying to get all of this together during that time she was in the hospital, but I'm glad we were able to.
Max Beauty Supply opened in November. The boutique-style store sells Black hair care products, wigs, makeup, and other supplies and clothing. They work to support other local Black-owned businesses and the products it carries and the referrals through word of mouth. Brittany also carried a product line started by her 16-year-old daughter.
If you can start something that you can possibly pass down to your children, I feel like our culture has kind of missed the ball on that.
If you'd like to learn more about Max's Beauty Supply and other Black-owned local businesses, check out the We're Open section of the WRTV app.
The pandemic continues to take a toll on hospital patients and workers. Tonight, members of the community showed those who provide and need care are not forgotten. This park and pray took place outside of IU Health West Hospital. Participants say this is one way to safely show support for healthcare heroes and people battling COVID.
Oh, I'm wonderful for them. I am just on cloud 9, what they have given up and what all of their lives is about COVID right now. And it's a hard event to go through.
Participants made signs, played music from their cars and flashlights. Kevin.
As I mentioned, a lot going on during the day tomorrow, even for the weekend into early next week. We'll go through all of it. As you look at these temperatures, you'll immediately think, wow, what's going on in Kokomo and Muncie? Temperatures are in the teens there, while Indy, Bloomington, Shelbyville in the 20s. If skies are clear, temperatures have dropped quickly. We'll all level off here and drop very little from now through the rest of the night as our wind starts to help us out of the south, and that will start to boost our temperatures a bit. There's your story as we move into the weekend and next week. Even beyond the 7-day forecast, as I'll show you shortly, temperatures will be well below average. Tomorrow, the wind strong, gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, even stronger at times tomorrow evening. That will draw in temperatures closer to 40 degrees, which means primarily rain, central and southern Indiana. Though as colder air catches this, there's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, northern Indiana, northwest portions of the state with some snow. That line drops a little more to the south, closer to Indy by 7 o'clock. Temperatures at that point are still at ground level above the freezing mark. That will move off to the east rather quickly by 11 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll finish off the work week cooler than tomorrow. Everything I'm going to show you is cooler than tomorrow. That's our warmest temperature in the 7-day forecast thanks to that strong south wind. Windy in the afternoon hours on Friday with temperatures in the 20s, so it will feel much colder. Wind chill will be a common theme in the 7-day planner as we go into early next week. There are other temperatures on Friday as cool as 23 in Kokomo, as warm as 30 in Bloomington. Over the weekend, the transition to the coldest temperatures will occur Saturday night into Sunday. That transition will be marked by another round of some light snow. Unlike last weekend, with temperatures much colder, this would be a dry, fluffy snow. May have some light accumulations. Forecast models have been putting out anywhere from an inch to inch and a half in the metro area and slightly more elsewhere. There are the temperatures on Sunday morning. Those are wind chill temperatures as cold as 20 below. 7-day planner. Next week, we stay cold with some snow showers and light snow possible with temperatures in the 20s Tuesday, 19 Wednesday. And just to show you, this takes us through the 17th of February. It's not showing up there, but below average temperatures will be in place for all of next week until about the 17th of February. Mark?
Gonna be a chilly one. All right, Kevin, thank you for that. The debate over raising the federal minimum wage is expected to be a heated one in Congress. Right now, the minimum wage in Indiana is $7.25. That would more than double under a proposal from President Biden. Scripps reporter Joe St. George takes a closer look at this issue.
Money. A paycheck. Everyone's salary is different, and with current minimum wage laws, where you live determines how much you are paid. Across the country right now, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. It's been the same since 2009. Each one of these states, for the moment, has that as their rate. Some have plans to increase it soon, but most do not. Other states have already decided to raise it on their own. In California right now, it's $13 an hour. In Colorado, it's $12.32. In Ohio, it's $8.80 per hour. In Florida, $8.65.
For a living, I drive 18-wheelers.
Douglas Gay lives in Alabama, a state that follows the federal minimum wage, and he has earned around that for his entire life. The current debate in Congress to raise it, he says, would be life-changing.
It gives me a sense of security to know that I can go to a job and actually make enough money to actually live.
Dev Wakely is with Alabama Arise, a group that wants Congress to act because there are no plans for anything to change in his state anytime soon.
Alabama has never instituted a state minimum wage. The only protections we have are those that are implemented by the federal government.
But you don't have to live in Alabama to potentially feel the impact if you're a business owner or a worker. President Biden supports a $15 an hour minimum wage. And while a number of cities have already instituted this nationwide, only 8 states have plans for a $15 an hour statewide rate in the near future.
It's just something I don't think politicians really understand.
Mark Berzins owns 21 restaurants and bars in Denver, Colorado, a city with a local minimum wage that's near $15 an hour and higher than the state minimum wage. And while a higher rate hasn't destroyed his business, it has forced changes.
We've taken regular pretty regular price increases.
Berzin says one consequence he sees nationwide will be fewer workers at some restaurants. He believes the pandemic forced more diners to become familiar with mobile ordering. Having a QR code is cheaper than a server.
You're going to see a lot more places that'll just say, look, we're eliminating table service.
Expect all of this to be debated in the coming days as the new president wants to sign his first economic relief bill soon. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
Well, many people still watch the Super Bowl for the commercials, and even those will look different this year due to the pandemic. Austin Kim with our partners at Newsy explains why advertisers are writing a new playbook for the game this year.
There she is. A proven winner gives you a great shot during the Super Bowl. Sorry, Tom, not your turn yet. Anyway, when it comes to advertising, known commodities deliver in the big game, as John Petroulis knows.
This is our 4th year in the Super Bowl with Pringles.
He's with Gray Global Group and helped the snack company with this big game spot. Deciding to go the humorous route.
One, you have to understand your audience and what the context is, but you also can't change who you are just to meet that, because that would be inauthentic and that would never be received.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
But Pringles and other advertisers had to wrestle with a dilemma because, let's be honest, 2020 was a lot. Brands have to appeal to a fatigued audience and hit the right tone, according to Derek Rucker from Northwestern University.
You know, if we're too happy-go-lucky, we have the potential of seeming out of touch with reality. If we're too serious, we might actually strike the wrong chord. And people who are watching our ads are like, I wanted to be entertained. I wanted to forget about some of this stuff.
Some brands are avoiding the debate altogether.
Mad Pack?
Just hit the clicker, car packs itself. Despite the acclaimed ads, Hyundai will steer clear of a 30-second Super Bowl spot, which is worth a reported $5.5 million this year. Coke and Pepsi won't be airing ads either. Same goes for Budweiser, although you will see Anheuser-Busch brands like Bud Light and Michelob Ultra.
Although some people are going to have Super Bowl parties, there might be a lot of viewership is detached. We call it social proof, right? Look, you're like, oh yeah, this is a funny ad. If we're watching it in smaller pockets, it may not have the same effect. And so I can 100% see the plan of, you know what? This is not the year to make the investment.
Both Rucker and Petroulis say we will see a variety of approaches during the commercial breaks, including ones that will take a stand on social issues like newcomer Chipotle.
And always when that happens, that opens doors for new players and new brands and new people that feel like this is the right moment. I think it comes down to your brand authenticity and how you feel like you can show up and what is the right thing for you to be doing in this moment.
Now that the hard work is over, Petroulis is going to sit back and enjoy the game like the rest of us. What's he watching for? He says simplicity and surprise. Austin Kim, Newsy, Chicago. Remember, those rain chances increase in the afternoon, mixing with snow and then eventually changing to snow before ending, especially north of Indy. Gusts to 30 miles per hour or stronger. That's the warmest day in the 7-day forecast. Much colder as we get to the weekend and beyond. Amanda?
Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news. Good morning, Indiana starts at 4:30. Good night.